Hey, welcome to, let's call it mortgage and real estate talk, right? Let's give it a name with Yasmine and Tracie. Yasmine, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you. I'm happy to be
Good.
here again.
I'm hoping we're getting some consistency with people watching these short videos. We're really trying to give as much information as we can in a clear, efficient manner, 10 minutes maximum. So stick with us, right?
Yes, that would be
So
lovely. I'll do my best to make it short.
yeah, you always do great. So I know we always come at it with a buyer question and a seller question, and then I'll throw in some mortgage tips or tricks or knowledge in there with it too. So I'm gonna start with you again, Yasmine. You're an amazing real estate agent in the East Bay. You help all types of clients, but I know with raising home prices, right? In your market, average home price is over 1 million, I'm assuming, right?
Right,
Which
right.
is very similar in San Diego County as well. But how do you guide buyers when you meet with them, especially knowing it's a high priced market and they have their must-haves, right? They have what they must have in a home, but you don't want them to feel restricted because of price point. How do you manage that kind of conversation with potential buyers that you meet?
So my experience as a relocation realtor comes in tremendously because I used to work with people from across the country, internationally, and so they would come from places where a beautiful large home is 500,000, and then they would come here, and with the incentives that uh, the employer would provide. I'm sorry, this is my coffee machine. I don't know if you hear it.
Nope, you're good. Everybody needs a cup of coffee, so keep going.
So I bring them in, and then we talk. Even though companies give incentives to relocation clients, I don't necessarily want to talk about that. But um, it is a huge factor for relocation clients when they come in. So this applies to first-time home buyers as well. I take their musts. For example, we have 3 children and we would like a minimum of 3 bedrooms. So that is priority number one. So I prioritize based on, what is an absolute must.
Mhm.
And when people have children, the second one would be we want our kids to be in good schools. And then when they say, but we would like to live in Berkeley, or if they say we would like to live in Danville or Alamo, and we can only go to 700,000, that's when my guidance comes in, and where I say, okay, how about we go to a neighboring town where we
Mhm.
focus on finding a great neighborhood school and still be able to accommodate you with the bedrooms that you desire and possibly a yard. But on the other hand, also, if they really insist to be in that town, we can look, instead of single family residences, clients are often open to looking at a townhouse or
Mhm.
a condo, if that's desired or if
Yeah.
that's okay.
So
So
you really need to work with them and figure out what is a want and what is a need, right?
yes.
Because, a want, if someone said 3-car garage for my boat and my AVs and my toys and my husband likes to build things, right? Well, where is that in your list, right? Is that a want or a
Exactly.
need? And so, but also you want to keep people excited and motivated, right? They're buying a home so they can get their perfect picture of where they want to live. So it's got to be a little bit tough and kind of like, keeping them excited, but giving them proper expectations. So that takes a lot of skill on your part as a real estate agent, I would say.
Well, I think with all my experience, the one thing that I have never lost is the excitement. I almost get more excited for my clients, regardless of the price range. It's a challenge. Sometimes it's a challenge. It's, comes with aches and pains. It comes with stepping back.
Mhm.
But I feel it's it should be an exciting time, regardless of, oh, we are only in this price range, or it's like, especially with a first time home buyer or moving up or moving out of the area. It's you as an I as an agent can bring so much excitement to the whole process, where they don't feel limited, but
Right.
more, we are opening up other doors.
Absolutely. And just on the lending side of it too, people think that they have to put 20% down. And, if you take $1 million price point and you think about 20% plus closing costs, it gets really overwhelming. So, in some of the counties that you work within, you can buy a home for a little over $1.2 million with only 5% down. And so that's why it's so important. We talk about this all the time, where if you have someone that's thinking about relocating or thinking about buying or selling and buying or renting and buying, they need to talk to a mortgage professional, right? Like myself, that can give them side by side options to show them. Now, if you want a certain payment, 20% might be the way that you need to go to get to that payment. But if you want to keep some money in the bank, right? You want to buy a home maybe that needs some repairs versus a turnkey. What about 10% down or 15% down or 5% down? Mortgage insurance is less expensive than people think. And so to save 5% in down payment to pay $100 or so in mortgage insurance, when we do the math, it makes sense. And so, as important it is for you as a realtor to really go through, the wants and the needs and understand the buyer, that's what I have to do as a lender. What's your payment comfort? How much money do you really have to invest? And then let's get your wants and needs. And you and I work together as a team to match those two things up to look at houses that are realistic.
Which
Right.
is why I always send them to you first before we even talk about it. Because I mean, it does happen that clients come and say, oh, we can go to a certain price. And I'm like, okay, well, based on what I'm hearing, I still
Right.
think it's most important for you to talk to
Right.
Tracie.
Well, plus people in other states, property taxes are very different than they are in California. Homeowners insurance is very different state by state. HOAs are very different. So, just those things alone that don't have anything to do with the interest rate of a mortgage or down payment, you need to understand those, because a lot of people, use Zillow as their lender and their real estate agent. And they're like, well, it said that my payments would only be this. Well, they didn't factor in XYZ. Right. And so you have to talk to professionals, especially with that big of an asset. So, and that's for on the buyer side. Now the seller side, because I love your approach with sellers, and it's like shifting gears a little bit. So you have to be customized with your buyers, right? But you also have
Yeah.
to customize things with your sellers, and it's putting on kind of a different realtor hat, more of like a marketing kind of strategy. So how
Yeah.
do you design a customized strategy for each home? Because a seller that's selling their home loves their home. They have memories built there, their families there. They don't want to market their home the same as their neighbor or, someone down the street. So
Right.
how do you customize that with each particular seller? I'm curious.
So the initial consultation and after the paperwork is done, or actually the initial consultation, I sit down with them and I find out I'm a really good listener. And for me, it's important that I hear everything that they have to bring to the table.
Mhm.
What is their timeline? Do they want to do some upgrades? Do they want to sell as is? Um, you know, and how attached are they actually to their home? Have they
Yeah.
only been there a couple of years and they only used it as a stepping stone, or have they been there for 30 years and there are so many memories that it's hard for them to let go?
Mhm.
So sensitivity, I feel, is a big aspect when selling a home, to just kind of have that understanding how hard something can be for a person, and then just being there by their side to discuss what options do we have. But when it comes to marketing, I do go the extra mile, and I do lots and lots of internet marketing. I do ads and customized video clips, and just
Mhm.
bringing their home to the market, not the same way that other people do. I do a ton of local and global marketing.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so I really try to be the least intrusive. Open houses and putting it on the MLS. I mean, that's one thing, every agent does, but making sure that you stay connected with the real estate community, with your colleagues. We also do off-market marketing. So sometimes I have sellers that do not necessarily want to go on the market right away. So I'm able to communicate with my company and my office. And oftentimes, we can bring a buyer to the table and it works out for the seller who actually never really intended to go on the market.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love your digital marketing strategies and your ability to market a property to the masses, right? That's what we've learned in our coaching, actually where we met. So I love that. I love the time that we spent together too. We don't want to keep it too long. So
Yes.
until next week with our
Yes.
next buyer and seller question that we're going to do together. So Yasmine, why don't you just share again the best way to get in touch with you?
The best way to get in touch with me is by text or phone at 925-998-9747. You can see the number on the screen. And of course, via email. And you can Google me. I mean, I'm
Okay, just
everywhere.
Google. Hey, you took my line. That's what I say. Just Google me. You'll find me. I love the color today too. The blue. It really like pops your lipstick color and your hair color and your glasses. And
Yeah,
enjoy that cup of coffee. And
I
until
will. You too.
next week when we meet again, and we're gonna do that actually before Thanksgiving, and then
Yes.
maybe we'll have like a little tip on how to prepare your home for Thanksgiving or a cool recipe or something that we'll share. So stay
Sounds
tuned.
good.
All right, I'll
Okay.
talk to you soon. Bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.